In this video net interview at IBC 2011, I'm talking with Shirlene Chandrapal, VP of Connected TV at Smartclip. Hello, Shirlene.
Hi, Joe.
We were talking to a major brand advertiser in the UK and Ireland recently, and they were saying that the only screen that really matters to them is still the TV in the home. But in terms of connected TV, it was a scale issue. And I mean, when is connected TV going to reach scale that is appealing to major advertisers?
This is the year that I think we're beginning to see a lot more traction and a lot of momentum, both in terms of awareness in the consumer's mind. If you look at players like Samsung and Sony, they are marketing quite heavily, and also LG around smart TV or their smart TV offerings. In addition to that, I think this is the year where the content is starting to become interesting. So in order for those guys to market, there needs to be enough content that makes sense. So BBC iPlayer, Love Film, you know, all of these brands help in their attempts to sell connected TV, and also the connection rates are increasing this year. We still have some ways to go. Next year it's going to be hard to buy a TV and not have internet connectivity. And at point of sale, a lot of that will become a lot more apparent. So over the next 2 to 3 years, I think we're really going to see much more uptake, much more awareness. I mean, here at IBC and at IFA, there's an awful lot around connected television. It's really becoming, you know, part and parcel of the conversation. So it's happening. It's really beginning to happen this year.
Okay, and even once those devices are in the market and they're all connected, I mean, is there a danger that because they've all got their own platforms that we see fragmentation? So you'd have a Sony market and a Samsung market. I mean, in terms of an advertiser, can that be a unified market?
It's a problem today. The fragmentation is a real issue. The announcement that Philips and LG and Sharp made about an alliance, having a single SDK that can leverage the platform, I think is a very good first step. There is a lot that can be leveraged. I mean, if you build an application, a lot of the back end is hosted and served on a web server, and you're really building the front end for the UI experience and that particular framework, but you can leverage a lot of those assets. From an advertising point of view, what we've had to do is we built a proprietary framework that essentially unpicks all of those different platforms that are within the devices and allows us to set up a seamless experience from the advertiser's ad server to the device. So today we sell and serve ads on Samsung, Sony, LG, Panasonic, Philips, Toshiba, Sharp, Loewe, Humax, Iriado, Sony PlayStation, gaming consoles, and a whole bunch of different devices because we have that platform. We also take the ad formats and we reformat them for the appropriate screen size. So we take that pain away from the advertiser. And we've been selling and serving ads on connected TVs for nearly 2 years now. And we had the first pure connected TV buy from Audi early this year. SwiftCover, you know, we're getting a lot of interest from advertisers because they recognize that it combines the real estate and the emotive appeal of television with the interactivity and the functionality of the web.
Okay, and can you also treat all of those different platforms as a single unified market? So if you add the 20 million Sonys and the 20 million Samsungs, you end up with big figures.
Absolutely. You know, I mean, in this instance, because we are able to do that, we can treat it as a single market. And actually, when we sell connected television, we sell it as part of our network. It's part of our multi-screen video network. So we sell it alongside PCs and mobiles and tablets, gaming consoles and connected TV. So we have, I think, something like 800 million video views a month across our network across Europe. So it's a pretty sizable pool, of which connected TV today is small, but we have more connected TV eyeballs than anyone else from an advertising point of view.
And how does the business model work and your role in the ecosystem? I mean, as a video ad network, I mean, where do you fit with a traditional broadcaster, if you like, who, you know, traditionally they've got their own ad department and they would presumably use their own inventory for their online spots and sell those. I mean, is this something that you can offer them, or are you targeting a completely different market to that?
So we work with a lot of broadcasters, and we work in multiple different ways. In some instances, on the PC, for example, we can help them monetize their unsold inventory. And the expertise that we have on PC is video. And it might sound straightforward, but actually it's not. You know, there's a lot to do with the media player being compliant with the IAB, or the Internet Advertising Bureau standards, so VAST and VPAID. And that applies to all digital devices. So we have the expertise, we have the reach. Because we aggregate lots of different publishers, we're very attractive for advertisers who want to buy an audience. They don't necessarily want to buy a brand. They might want males, females, sports, entertainment, news, whatever. And because we aggregate a lot of that, we can give them specific genres and we can do targeting and some pretty clever things around that. So we definitely add value to broadcasters. In connected television, because we have the technology built, or the framework, which is UTI, Universal Television Advertising Interface, we're able to sell and serve the ads across the devices. And in order for them to do that, they would have to build out. So definitely in the sort of short term, we can use that expertise, have the network, and we can monetize at this stage what is relatively low inventory for them. Now, over time, they'll probably take that in-house, and maybe we work in the way that we do on PC, where we might sell their unsold inventory. But we definitely have a lot of value to add at this point.
Okay, and just in a few words, I mean, what are the benefits of advertising through a connected TV environment compared to classic TV?
So the biggest benefit is bringing the functionality of the web to the television, right? So, you know, we know what TV advertising does, right? It's great for brands, it's great for an advertiser to create a story, have an emotive angle built into that and for people to identify with. But it's not as efficient, right? The web is known for its efficiency, its accountability, its measurability, and all of that is suddenly being brought to the television. And that's the real value. Now, a lot of that isn't entirely possible today. Okay, so the TVs don't have enough storage. You can't necessarily drop a cookie and read a cookie in some of these frameworks. With some of them you can. And we work very closely with some of the TV manufacturers to educate them on the requirements of the advertising industry and what they need to build to be able to really drive more efficiency, and also for advertisers to be able to take advantage of all of the interactivity that the web can offer. And that's a slow process. I mean, that's going to take a couple of years for us to get to the point where we have something that's comparable in terms of some of the stuff that we're seeing on the web. But that's the holy grail for an advertiser, to be able to target users by their interest or their propensity to buy, or whether they're an existing customer or a potential new customer, but then use TV to deliver that message as well.
Okay, and just finally, we're hearing a lot about the synchronisation of the second screen, the tablet, with what's actually playing on the main TV right now. And there's a view that maybe there's an advertising opportunity there where you can insert different adverts, interactive adverts onto the tablet. I mean, have you got a role in that? And again, is it a cooperation model with broadcasters?
So maybe if I go back a bit. So today the main format that we're delivering on connected TV is video, and the next thing that we're looking at is interactive video, so maybe using the color code buttons. The second screen is going to be massively important, especially in Europe. There's still a lot of work that's being done in terms of the technology and the content, right? So you can build a technology that allows you to do this, but the content guys still have to develop the content that needs to be created for the second screen. It doesn't necessarily have to come from the broadcaster. There is nothing stopping a third party from building content that's appropriate to a traditional linear experience, right? So you could have an X Factor application that's built by, you know, a fan base, right? Not necessarily ITV and X Factor themselves, for example. And there is a big opportunity there to have perhaps a synchronized model whereby the video is served to the TV, but the engagement mechanism is being delivered to the second screen. And we can work with that stuff. I mean, we're looking at something for 2012. It's still early days because the technology is still, I guess, this year getting some traction. There's still no content. For us to serve advertising, we need content within which to serve that advertising. Okay.
Do you get a feeling that the broadcasters want to get into that market, or will obviously get into that market, or that they will actually compete with other people who are trying to effectively take their ad breaks, if you like, and harness them?
If the broadcasters are sensible, they should be looking at this market very closely and planning for it, because, you know, they have the best content, because they have the original content, and they should be looking at peripheral content that enhances the experience and you know, user interface that makes it easy for a consumer to engage. And there are some that are and some that aren't. Clearly there's going to be third parties that are going to move into the space because they see the opportunity, you know, and if you look at guys like Twitter and Facebook, they're already doing that, right? So yeah, and for us it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter if they're a broadcaster or a third party. We work with everyone.
Okay, all right, well that's a great place to leave it. So thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.